Hello and welcome to another Skaredcast tournament in review. Today we go all the way to Austria to the Warmasters GT. Let's dive in.
The Dark King.
Hello and welcome to another tournament in review. I just got back from Europe playing at the World Team Championship and the Warmasters, which is probably the most competitive GT in the world other than the WCW, the Golden Ticket event for GW. So I took my Drukhari and then played with Team Canada at the World Championship. Now, during the World Championship, it's very focused, it's teams, so I didn't really film anything for the team event. You did get to see me on stream playing against Austria on War Games Live. It was fantastic, so make sure you go check that out. But this breakdown is for the Warmasters, which is the singles event that happens before the World Championship. I played 6 rounds of Warhammer of a potential 8 to 9 rounds, depending on the shadow round. And I did film the review. So I took my teams list and I took it to play at this WTC style singles event, which used differential scoring, which I'll kind of explain a little bit about. And yeah, so if this is your first time watching one of these, I'm going to go over my list. We're going to go to the event and see who I played and how I played it. And then we're going to come back and break down what I learned. And hopefully you learned something as well. So let's dive in. And with that, enjoy. And here we have 2,000 points of Drukhari. This is my team's list that I took to the World Team Championship. It's Reaper's Wager Drukhari, 2,000 points, led by Warlord Archon with the Arc Raider enhancement, Uri and Rakarth in there as well, Lilith Hesprax, and of course Drazar and his Incubi. Then we have a unit of 10 Hellions, a Kronos, 3 units of Scourge, 2 with Haywire, 1 with Dark Lances, 2 Beast Packs, because Beast Pack equals Best Pack, 2 units of 5 Mandrakes, 3 Venoms with double cannon, 1 Ravager with Lances, 1 unit of Scourge, 1 unit of Reaver Jet Bikes with a Heat Lance, and that is that. 5 racks, 10 Kabalite Warriors, 10 Witches, round out the list. And then we have it. 2,000 points of Drukhari. Now, what makes this different to my singles event is I essentially take the second unit of Haywire Scourge, the third Scourge unit. I don't like them in singles, because it sort of skews my list a little bit too much. Now, we wanted this list to hunt Knights and Death Guard. Knights, Chaos Knights, and Death Guard was really what it was designed to kind of attack. But because of things like the Hellions and other units in the army, and the Beast Packs especially, this list had play into pretty much everything in the meta. But into some armies, this third unit of Scourge does become a liability, so it's a little harder to play, but it does make sure that when I go into Knights, I kill them, and I do a lot of damage into Death Guard as well. So with that purpose in mind, this list isn't really designed for singles, so I was very curious to see how it would do at the Warmasters. The Beast Packs are essentially one of the main parts of the list, being able to, if I go first, really pin my opponent into their zone. And if I go second, just really help me control sort of like the pace of the game to allow me to have enough tools left alive at the end of the game to really sort of like pull out some of those points to help me potentially win the matches. The Hellions are the main take all comers part of this list, because of their ability to not only tackle tough targets with lethal hits in Reaper's Wager with the stratagem, but also with their high volume of anti-infantry attacks and their high volume of attacks, allowing me to go into more things like Gene Stealer Cult or Horde-style units, or even like big bricks of Space Marines, which I'm hoping they are going to be useful against. And in essence, that is the theory. So let's head on over to Europe. We're going to go to Austria, and we're going to play a bunch of Warhammer. Let's get this started. And it's tournament day. Day 1 of the Warmasters. I think I'm going to be on the Vesla stream, but they're checking that right now. And I get to play Joshua, who is one of the coaches for the US team, which is going to be really fun. Gladius Ultramarines. I'm looking forward to it, round 1. But here you go. Everybody's setting up, having a good time. We already registered. Wish me luck. There's 6 to 9 rounds. Let's do this.
Somewhere in the nowhere in Austria, to share passion, hobby, community and friendship. And this is what this is about. So again, make some noise for yourself, guys.
Round 1 went well. Ended up winning. I was on the Vesla stream, the Swedish stream, I believe. Make sure you check that out. So now to food and then round 2. The power went out a few times. I would have taken some videos, but we were kind of crunched for a little bit of time. So, yeah, wish me luck. Round number 2, I get to play Virulent Victorum Death Guard, Jordan from Team Australia. And that's right, as you can see. But, of course, Team Canada, home objective. It is Hidden Supplies, Hammer and Anvil. And the Death Guard are going first. No Mortarion, though, but the big murder unit of Plague Marines is back there in the Rhino. Only 2 Poxwalker units, but, of course, 1,000,000 drones. And a Demon Prince. So, let's do this. It's going to be a fun game. And wish me luck. I did end up tying last round. I get to play Ares from the Swiss team now, and he's also playing Virulent Victorum. So round 3 of the day. Let's see if I can do at least a 10-10 on this one. That'll be nice. It's definitely a tough matchup. This time he has Morty, though. And I'm going second, again, which is nice for the mission. Anyway, wish me luck. Okay, so I did end up winning my game last night, and this is round 1 of day 2 of the Warmasters. I'm playing Ed from England. Hi. And he's playing Elves, and this is turn 3. We're playing Terraform. I went second. And now it's the go turn, so he's basically getting out there. It's been a nice cat and mouse game, a very fun cat and mouse game in the first little bit. So we'll see how the game continues. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. I'm having a lot of fun learning lots. Of course, the main event is a team event. So this is a very more just back and forth, relaxed environment. And using your team list in a singles environment is, not always the best because you have good and bad matchups. But I'm learning lots and having a lot of fun. So yeah, wish me luck. And that's it, round number 6. I ended up playing against Olivier. Yay! The reigning champion on the Vesla stream. So make sure you check them out. The link will be down below. Fantastic game. I lost 13-7, so I did lose. That's it. That's my run. 4 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. That means I do not make to the semi-final, but I get to rest tomorrow. What a fantastic run. And then WTC begins tomorrow. I'm really happy to get to rest, but, I would have liked to have won it, but it is what it is. But make sure you check out the video. There's still plenty of Warhammer to come. And we're back in the studio. It is Tuesday. I got back yesterday, and I slept for like 12 hours. I played 13 games of Warhammer from Tuesday to Sunday. So I played a lot of Warhammer. My last game of the Warmasters was streamed on the Vesla stream. So make sure you check that out against Olivier, the defending champion of Warmasters at the time. Now, Olivier did beat me and then dropped from the event, which did make me very sad because, he had responsibility as a captain. He wanted to give me the best game. I understand that. It does kind of feel a little sad for me that I didn't get to go to the finals or play somebody who could have played in the finals. But no hard feelings. And I cannot wait for a rematch, Monsieur Olivier. They went to end up winning the actual team event. Team France just crushed all opposition, destroyed everyone, and ended up repeat winning the WTC with a fantastic run. So congratulations to them. Well done, and I cannot wait to see what the team does in the future. So the Warmasters is really fun. I'm not exactly sure what my final placing was. Hold on a second, let me check the app. So I did check, I was in 18th with 1 draw and 1 loss. Of course, some folks did get a loss early, then won all their games, and they ended up sort of like placing higher than me, who, basically didn't lose until my last game. It is what it is at that point. It's not really like path to victory. It's more like victory points in total, which is like an older way of doing it, but it does feel weird to like lose to go into the finals and then get bumped all the way down to like 18th spot. Anyway, but with that, let's take a look at what I learned in singles about my list. Okay, so the list itself worked very, very well. Now, against Olivier, my biggest mistake was making a charge early on in the game with a Beast Pack, which allowed a Heroic Intervention that rolled very, very high, and then he had one unit just kind of come all the way around and just caused me lots of issues, which for the mission itself and the deployment was one of the worst case scenarios. I shouldn't have really made that charge, but that was me just kind of like testing the waters, seeing how it worked. If we would have gotten paired into France and playing against him, in the team event, right? That was like the reason why I needed that practice. to see kind of what would happen. And that was like worst case scenario, and I wasn't able to dig myself out of it. I did end up losing only by, 20 points or so. So it was like 13-7. So not a terrible, terrible loss, but still a good lesson learned. So I did like having the 30-unit Scourge in the team event. In the singles, I didn't really necessarily need it. It did help me into like the Chaos Knight matchup, which I'd, and things like that, into like big stuff. I did end up playing Death Guard twice. That's one of my draws, and a very big win. And the extra Haywire did exactly what it was supposed to do in that matchup, which is really just help kill all those little plague machines or whatever to really kind of skew the game in my favor. I did have enough little MSU units. Urian Rakarth is once again just the absolute monster that he is. The Reva Jet Bikes were there mainly to do some like anti-Chaos Knight stuff, being that they're OC6, so it really helps take away that sticky objective with 5 OC. But a lot of folks were playing Infernal Lance, not Dread, the Dread one, which is kind of what the bikes are in there for. But they were okay. They're fast, they move, they're a good little extra screen, but they're probably one of the things that I could have done without. Maybe an additional unit of Mandrakes instead would have been better. Other than that, the list itself is pretty solid. I don't think there's much tweaking that one can do with Dark Eldar at the moment. Considering the Codex is probably around the corner at some point, this is like a pretty solid Reaper's Wager list. I really like it. At singles, of course, I would still take out the 1-unit Scourge, put in the Solitaire, and then we'll see about, what I do with the Reva Jet Bikes. Usually it's a squad of Grotesques. And I've got a couple more events coming up. I've got LVO, I've got LGT. So I might be tweaking like this concept a little bit for that in order to really help me in the final stretch of my ITC run. So of course my goal is to be number 1 in the ITC. Right now with ITC, BCP hasn't really updated with Tacoma scores, which really is annoying. But I should be around top 10-ish, top 5, top 10. The folks that I'm currently chasing, like Innis, he did very well at Warmasters. Congratulations to him. He dropped right at the end there at the finals of Warmasters. It was a draw, but then tiebreakers kind of ended up putting him down one spot. So he's the person to beat, right? And I'm very excited. Great competition this year. I did want to do a shout out to the Red Dragon, who is a sponsor for my entire ITC run. We're doing a promo code, Skaredcast25. The link is down below, where you get 15% off, basically store-wide. So if you want to support me in my journey and you want to purchase anything from Magic cards all the way to like other stuff in the online store, use that code, and the link is in the description down below. And that's that. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. I learned a lot. 18th was not what I was hoping. I was hoping for like top 10. I did make it to basically the final round to get into the finals, and then got popped all the way down to 18th with that loss, which is a bit of a bummer. However, I am very proud with how I did at the Warmasters event, and even more proud of our Team Canada run at WTC. Team Canada came in 8th at the World Team Championship. We worked our butts off. We won the most improved team from last year, bumping 12 placings from 20th to 8th from last year to this year. So we are feeling great. It's the best showing that Team Canada has ever done. A huge shout out to the entire team, to our coaches, to everybody who helped us practice and develop lists, and to all of you who came over and said hi. I really loved seeing all of you. It was great. Lots of Drukhari players from all around the world, and other folks just coming to say hi. I missed last year, so it was really nice to come back and say hello to all of you. And I love the community. You're all freaking awesome. So thank you so much for everything. I hope you enjoyed watching this little excerpt into what the Warmasters was, what I've learned. I might be at Nova. I might not be playing, so stay tuned for that, but I might be at Nova if you're going to be going there. I'm looking forward to going to the LGT, so I'll see you there, and the LVO. So I'm doing back-to-back. Thanks to the Red Dragon for sponsoring all of those trips. So my heart goes out to all of that. And, of course, to all the channel Patreons, without whom none of this is possible. So if you'd like to support me on my journey, the Patreon is probably the best way. The link is down below in the description. And without the patrons, I would not be able to do what I do. So I've been Skari, your grateful host, signing off until next time, and let me know if you have any questions. Skari at the Dark Kin. Bye, everybody.